This all continued for the next 2 years when Fantasy turned 19 years old and is sporting a new outfit to wear around Eggman's base that she likes. She's also allowed to wander outside of the base a little, but Eggman doesn't want her to stray too far from the base and wants her to keep out of sight and just in case if Sonic or one of his friends figure out that she works for Eggman. While outside going for a nature walk around in the forest, Fantasy heard some voices on the other side of the bushes from her. Two male voices to be exact. She snuck into one of the nearby bushes to get a look through the vegetation to see who's on the other side of the bushes. On the other side are two creatures that Fantasy has never seen before. There is a blue hedgehog with white gloves and red shoes, along with him talking to who a average, average orange fox with white gloves and red shoes as well. Fantasy barely paid attention to their conversation as she was too focused on not getting caught by them. However, when the blue hedgehog sped off in the opposite direction, the orange fox began working on his red airplane, and Fantasy got a good look at the fox from where she is, and her heart began to beat as she saw how very cute and adorable he is, that she began to blush and be a little struck in love with him. Fantasy does know that she's too old for him and that he's too young for her, and considering how wrong it would be for them to date a huge age difference gap, she came up with the idea of being put into a frozen cryogenic sleep in order to wait until he is 18 or older for them to date. Fantasy then ran back to the egg base at sonic speed with hope, love, and joy on being with the orange fox in the future. When she got back to the base, Eggman was working on a new experiment to use against Sonic and his friends. Dad! Eggman then got scared out of his mind from the surprise of his creation that came out of nowhere and made him almost mess up on his project. Blasted Fantasy! Can't you see that I'm working on a new machine in order to get rid of that blue nuisance of a hedgehog? Eggman said as he explained to Fantasy while scared out of his mind. I'm sorry, Eggman. I didn't mean to scare you. I just have a request that I want to ask you as a favor. Fantasy shouted in excitement as she has a wide smile on her face. It depends on the request. What is it that you want? I would like to be in a frozen cryogenic sleep until a certain cute fox boy is over 18 for me to possibly date, Fantasy said as she blushes and her heart beats. Eggman then froze in place for a few seconds out of shock from what he heard from his daughter, Fantasy. When he unfroze, he got into a concerned and mad manner with her and raised his voice a little while questioning her. What? Why would you want that? And who is this fox boy you're speaking of? Are you talking about Sonic's little friend Tails? Is that the yellow fox boy's name? It's a very cute and unique name for him that fits well, Fantasy said as she blushed even more. What? The Eggman shouted at the top of his lungs so loud that the animals outside his base got scared and ran off from his loud blood scream shouting. He then got really mad and furious that he started to question her and deny her request out of frustration and anger. I will not accept your request, Fantasy the Hedgehog. Fantasy then now grew a surprised and shocked look on her face along with the question she didn't ask Dr. Eggman. Huh? But why, Dad? Because he is also my enemy. He's also best friends with my blue rodent nemesis, Sonic the Hedgehog. Plus, he's too young to date at your age. You know how wrong that is? The conversation about Fantasy's request then turned into an argument between Fantasy and Dr. Eggman. Dad, I know how wrong that is, and I'm not in that age or any age below 18, since it's very gross and disgusting, Fantasy said as she felt like she was going to vomit from the thought of it. That's why I suggested being in a cryogenic sleep until he is older than 18 years old. I'd rather date him when he's at least 18 years old or a little older than that when he's considered an adult. Doctor, he's 8 years old, Fancy. I know that. Since I can tell, he is extremely young, and that's why I suggest putting me into a cryogenic sleep, like Great Uncle Shadow was, so that way I can date him in the next 10 to 11 years, when I'm not too old for him to date when he turns 18 or 19. The answer is still no. Is there another reason why, too? Yes, my beloved daughter, there is. I need you round still, just in case that I've gotten so fed up with Sonic that I have you join the field to defeat him and his friends. Eggman didn't stop yelling since he feels like he's going to blow a gasket and started to breathe in and out through his mouth and nose and slowly but surely calming down. Fantasy, on her hand, blown a gasket and gotten so extremely angry with her father that she transformed into her dark form. When Eggman saw this, he started to get scared. Is that all you care about? I don't have any friends outside of this base since I never went to school with anyone I know since I was born with knowledge in my head when I was created. I never had childhood since I was created except the memories of working for you, Fantasy said in an angry voice. The only people I know are you, Shadow, Metal Sonic, and all these robots, and I see you all as a family only. You think I can find a lover outside of this base when I can't do to how much damage I cause out there to help build your stupid dictatorship of an empire? I'll never find a lover since I don't have any friends outside of this base, and I'm just gonna grow old and become less young due to your greed and pride of defeating Sonic and building your empire. The last words that shocked and hurt Eggman deeply that he thought he'd never hear from his own beloved daughter Fantasy. I hate you. After saying that, the whole room shook for a moment and Fantasy ran out of the lab and back to her room crying in tears. Eggman just stood there shocked and frozen from the shook of the room as Orbot broke the silence and told Dr. Eggman, Doctor, I think it's best that we give her some space and leave her alone for a while until she calms down, shall we? Eggman then shook his head and said in a sad and shocked and trembling voice, I agree, Orbot. Let's give her some space. I'm gonna call it a day for today and take a break from working on my project to stop Sonic and his friends. That's understandable, sir. The rest of the afternoon and evening has gotten quiet and only the sounds of the robots hard at work clean the base and machines making noise for new robots. As it almost turns to midnight, Fantasy is in her room sleeping with a mad and depressed look on her face. After spending the rest of the day crying in her room while Eggman is sitting at his desk thinking and recollecting his thoughts after the fight and argument with his daughter Fantasy earlier. Why would she say that? I gave her so much when she never asked for it, since I want to show her my appreciation of having her as a daughter. She should appreciate for all I do for her. We love each other as family, but I'm not sure about that anymore. Maybe I should just kick her out of the base and disown her, Eggman said in a hurt and upset voice. A old memory of the past came back to him when his mother died and his dad barely supported him and was not happy with him at all in his inventions and dreams, like he's some kind of failure in life. Thinking about that opens Eggman's mind and realizes that he should also support his daughter's dreams in the best way he can and be happy for her at the same time. I got an idea on how I can help her out and catch her dreams. I'll get right on it once I wake up in the morning. But first, I need to write a note for her to stay away from the lab for a while. I'll head to sleep once I finish writing the note. Eggman then got started on a note and finished writing it in a few minutes, and he went to his bed, sound asleep for a brand new day tomorrow. That'll be the second part of the origin story. I hope y'all enjoyed that, and so, yep. So, but the last part's gonna be worked on now. When I wrote all this, I couldn't tell it would be too long or not. So, but now thinking about the recording of the time and all, yeah, it was still more time. I could have finished the rest today, but just yeah. But anyway, hope y'all guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, give out next upload. Don't forget to share social media and find on social media to help my channel grow. Anyway. Hope you all have a nice day and night, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Stay kicking, everyone. Bye.